rise and fall of the Mayan Empire. The name Mayans always sounds fascinating to each of us. Apart from their knowledge on science, trading, architecture and culture, it is their calendar that never fails to amaze us, for the reason that it could relate the happenings around us even today, after thousands of years since its inception by the Mayans. Hello, and welcome to Factpedia. Are you really excited to know more about the Mayans? Before we start, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so that you're notified every time we upload an awesome new video. The Maya are an indigenous people of Mexico and Central America who have continuously inhabited the lands comprising modern-day Yucatan, Quintana Roo, Campeche, Tabasco, and Chiapas in Mexico, and southward through Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, and Honduras. The designation Maya comes from the ancient Yucatan city of Mayapan, the last capital of a Mayan kingdom in the post-classic period. The mysterious Maya have intrigued the world since their discovery in the 1840s by John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood. But in reality, much of their culture is not that mysterious when understood. Contrary to popular imagination, the Maya did not vanish, and the descendants of the people who built the great cities of Chichen Itza, Bonampak, Uxmal, and Altunja still exist on the same lands their ancestors did and continue to practice, sometimes in a modified form, the same rituals which would be recognized by a native of the land 1,000 years ago. Since Mayan culture formed, dissolved, and reformed over many hundreds of years, scholars divide the years into three main time periods: pre-classic, from 2000 BC to AD 250, classic AD 250 to 900, and post-classic 900 to 1519. Once the Spanish arrived in 1519 and conquered, the colonial era began. The Spanish brought European diseases that killed millions of Mesoamericans, including the Maya. Nevertheless, Mayans survived to the present time and still live on the same lands as their ancestors. Over the centuries, Mayans built hundreds of stone cities, some of which were prominent in one era, but faded into obscurity in later years. At the end of both the pre-classic and classic eras, Mayan culture seemed to collapse. However, the Mayans never disappeared entirely. After a period of a recovery, new Mayan cities were built and the culture continued to flourish. The Maya were not a single group of people, rather they were different tribes, clans and family of people speaking a variety of Mayan languages who all shared strong cultural ties and traditions. The strength of Maya culture and civilization is evidenced by the great span of time it dominated Mesoamerica over 3,000 years. The Zapotec period, 600 BCE till 800 CE. In the region surrounding modern-day Oaxaca, the cultural center now known as Monte Alban was founded, which became the capital of the Zapotec kingdom. The Zapotecs were clearly influenced by, or perhaps related to, the Olmecs, and through them some of the most important cultural elements of the region were disseminated, such as writing, mathematics, astronomy, and the development of the calendar, all of which the Maya would refine. The Teotihuacan period, 200 till 900 CE. During this era, the great city of Teotihuacan grew from a small village to a metropolis of enormous size and influence. Early on, Teotihuacan was the rival of another city called Cuicurico, but when that community was destroyed by a volcano 100 CE, Teotihuacan became dominant in the region. Archaeological evidence suggests that Teotihuacan was an important religious center, which was devoted to the worship of a great mother goddess and her consort, the Plum Serpent. The Plum Serpent god, Kukulkan, also known as Cucamatz, was the most popular deity among the Maya. Like many of the cities, which now lie in the ruin throughout the southern Americas, Teotihuacan was abandoned sometime around 900 CE. The El Tajín period, 250 till 900 CE. This period is also known as the Classic period in Mesoamerican and Mayan history. The name El Tajín refers to the great city complex on the Gulf of Mexico, which has been recognized as one of the most important sites in Mesoamerica. This period was the height of the Maya civilization, in which they perfected mathematics, astronomy, architecture, and the visual arts, and also refined and perfected the calendar. The oldest date recorded in this era is on stele 29 in the city of Tikal, 292 CE, and the latest is from an inscription on the stele at the site of Tonina, 909 CE. The city-states of the Mayan civilization stretched from Piste in the north all the way down to modern-day Honduras. The Maya believed deeply in the cyclical nature of life. Nothing was ever born and nothing ever died. And this belief inspired their view of the gods and the cosmos. Their cosmological views, in turn, encouraged their imaginative efforts in architecture, mathematics, and astronomy. Beneath the earth was the dark realm of Xibalba, from whence grew the great tree of life, which came up through the earth and towered into the heavens, through 13 levels, to reach the paradise of Tamuancán, place of the misty sky, where beautiful flowers bloomed. In Mayan belief, however, one did not die and go to a heaven or a hell, but rather embarked on a journey toward Tamuancán. This journey began in the dark and treacherous underworld of Xibalba, while Xibalbans who lived there were more apt to trick and destroy a soul than help one. The Maya developed long-distance trading networks with Teotihuacan, the Zapotec peoples, and the Caribbean island-based Taínos. Stepped pyramids commanded city centers along with the expensive palaces of the rulers. Who precisely the people were who inhabited El Tajín remains unknown, as there were over 50 different ethnic groups represented in the city, and dominance has been ascribed to both the Maya and the Totonac. What facts about the Mayans interest you? Tell us in the comment section below. The post-classic period, 950 till 1524 CE. At this time, the great cities of the Maya were abandoned. There is no explanation for the mass exodus from the cities to outlying rural areas has been determined, but climate change and overpopulation have been strongly suggested among other possibilities. The Great Pyramids, which characterize so many Mayan sites, are replicas of the great mountain of the gods known as Huitzop. The cyclical nature of human existence is mirrored in the famous Maya calendar. The depictions of the many gods and goddesses all go toward their function in helping one through the cycles of life or hindering. The great religious book of the Quiché Maya, the Popol Vuh, tells precisely this story of the cyclical nature of life through the tale of the hero twins Cujalpu and Xcalanque, and their victory over the forces of chaos and darkness symbolized by the lords of Xibalba. Toc was the most popular game among the Maya and was far more than just a game, as it symbolized the human struggle and reflected the way the Maya viewed existence. Two opposing teams of 7 men each would face each other on a ball court and try to score a small rubber ball through a vertical hoop affixed to a wall while defending their own goal. What makes the game even more impressive is that a player could not use the hands or the feet, only the hips, shoulders, head and knees. The Spanish bishop Diego de Landa wrote that watching the Maya play Toc was like watching lightning strikes. They moved so quickly. It has long been believed that the losing team or the captain of the losing team would be killed at the end of the match, but recent advances in deciphering the Mayan glyphs together with the archaeological evidence suggests it may have been the winning team or the winning captain who was given the honor of a quick death and instant passage to paradise. The game is thought to have been symbolic, not only of the victory of the hero twins over darkness, but of the cyclical nature of life. The Toltecs, a new tribe in the region, took over the vacant urban centers and repopulated them. At this time, Tula and Chichén Itzá became dominant cities in the region. The widely popular conception that the Maya were driven from the cities by the Spanish conquests is erroneous, as the cities were already vacant by the time of the Spanish invasion. In fact, the Spanish conquerors had no idea the natives they found in the region were responsible for the enormous complex of the cities. The Quiché Maya were defeated at the Battle of Utatlan in 1524 CE, and this date traditionally marks the end of the Maya civilization. So, what's your opinion when we say the Mayans are still among us? Tell us in the comment section down below. The Mayans today. Yes, the Mayans' offsprings are still occupying the same area as their ancestors. In the modern age, the Mayas still farm the same lands and travel the same rivers from the north in the Yucatan down to Honduras. The claim that the Mayas somehow vanished simply because their cities were found abandoned is not only inaccurate, but insulting to the over 6 million Maya who carry on the traditions of their ancestors. If you find this content useful, consider giving a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. And once again, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We hope you enjoyed this awesome video and stay safe until we come up with another awesome video like this.